Hi guys, welcome back to Mr. Moves Models. This is a long overdue bench update, and this is going to be my bench update for November, December and a bit of an end of 2018 wrap up. So first of all, I'm going to say thank you very much for those who are sticking with the channel despite the fact I'm not putting anything out on YouTube that often nowadays. Obviously I'm using that excuse of life's really busy and in between work, family life, a little bit of holidays, the baby and stuff, it is quite busy. Obviously, I don't know whether you saw, I did a few little snippet videos when I was up at Telford for Scale Model World. After that we had a bit of downtime. I finished off some shifts and we had some annual leave, and we went over to France to see my family over there. So that was basically 2 weeks where I didn't touch the bench at all, and then came back, and then it's been sort of pretty solid at work, a little bit of overtime and such forth. And therefore the days I haven't been at work I've been trying to spend some time with Harriet and with Laura, because I don't get to see them that much when I'm at work, and therefore coming to the bench has been a little bit, well, it's not a little bit, it's been right sort of at the bottom of the priority list, if that makes sense. I have been able to get into here a little bit to carry on some work on some builds, which I will show you in a bit. So yeah, but I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for those of you who followed along, and lo and behold, I've picked up a couple of extra subscribers, so that's great. Same for the Facebook page, if any of you follow me on there. Just a little bit of apology, there's not much content going up on there, and I am sorry about that, but it's just one of those, it is what it is. So with that, we're just going to sort of follow the normal sort of format of the video, have a quick look at what's on the bench, what I've been building, have a quick look at what I've bought, and a bit of a chit chat about what's happened recently in terms of my modelling hobby, and what the plan is for the near future. But just before I do go down, move the camera around to the bench so you can see that, I just quickly want to mention a Facebook group that's been brought to my attention. Well, I've known of it for a little while, but sort of it's popped up again and people mentioned it, and it is a good group to go and check out. It's a group called the Devon Autistic Modeller Society. As the name says, it's based down in the south of England, and it's for people who live with autism, and to help them out through some sort of therapy sessions based around modelling, a bit like Models for Heroes, just sort of veterans with PTSD and stuff like that. I'm a strong advocate that scale modelling's great for people suffering from some sort of mental health issues, whether it be depression, PTSD, or people with like attention problems. You know, just that sort of slow, focused aspect of do scale modelling and making some bits and bobs of plastic come together and look sort of lifelike is really satisfying. And when you're doing that, you tend not to wonder too much. Your thoughts seem to forget off. So these guys obviously using modelling to help people who live with autism, and that's a great concept. So I'm going to put a link down below here. If you want to go and check out the group, please do so. Give them a bit of support, a bit of encouragement, and you know, take it from there. So what I'm going to do is I'll move the cameras down to the bench and try and sort of use the format I normally do, and I wanted to show you what I've been doing recently in terms of builds. So just bear with me whilst I move the cameras, guys. Okay, so the projects I've been working on, I've mainly been working on two. The Tucano, after the last update, as I said, I was going to try and get it finished for November Sunday. That never happened, so that's going back in the box, and it'll come back out sometime next year. I'll get them finished hopefully for next November Sunday. The Augusta 109, I've just completely lost the mojo on it. I need to paint it, but I don't know, I don't fancy it at the minute. So the two I've been working on are these. This one first, and this one which I'm closest to finishing. So this is my Micro Mir 12144 scale Vickers Valiant B1. On last update it was painted. I've deckled it. I had almighty trouble with the decals. The decals, including the kit, were really fragile and disintegrated very easily, so I've got most of them on. A lot of stenciling I haven't bothered with, simply because, well, I think in the scale you're not going to see it, and I'm not going to be entering this into competition or anywhere. I'm not going to be displaying it, it's just for me, so I'm happy with how it is. Notable problem areas were Just here the roundels on the fuselage. So once they were down, I noticed after the microset, some of the colour ran, so I had to kind of respray that. So I masked it off, resprayed it with some white, and when I took the mask off, I took the decal off, which was a bit annoying to say the least. So what I ended up doing was I got some aftermarket decals in the scale, so I pinched some of those and put those back on. But it's certainly looking the part now. It's got the decals on, it's got the clothes on. Underneath we're looking okay as well. Whoopsie daisy. The last few bits that I need to do are some weathering, but to be honest, I think I'm going to leave it as it is, unless I put a very light wash onto it. So I need to have a play of that, and then I just need to finish painting the undercarriage here, so landing gear, and I need to get the landing gear doors on, and then that'll be that. I'll be looking forward to see the end of it. I just need to make my mind up whether I'm going to put gloss coat down and put a weather coat onto it, or whether I just seal it as it is in satin, sort of a semi-gloss. I can't make my mind up, to be honest. Personally, I'm thinking there's some pre-shading breaking through. I'm guessing these aircraft were kept relatively clean during the Cold War, and you can quite easily see the panel lines anyway, so I'm thinking they don't need reinforcing. So at the moment I'm tending towards not putting a panel line wash on, so we'll see. If I do anything, it's just going to be a very light grey wash. So that's that. To go with it, we have got the fuel tank's done, landing gear, the landing gear wheels done, the landing gear bay doors done. So literally it just needs to be brought together. There's some minor bits of photo etch which need to go onto it, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to miss them. So the plan is just to get it finished. So that's that. Just let me pop that one back. And the other thing I've been working on is this little beauty of a kit. So let's just pop it over here. So where we've got to at the minute, well, it's progressed quite nicely over the last few days. It's come together quite well. I'm just going to dry fit the wings on. There we go, just so you can have a look at how she's looking. There you go. She's looking like a mosquito. So the issues I've had here are all my own doing. The machine gun barrels here have bent. That's because I dropped the fuselage like a dumpty. And here I managed to create a massive sink mark by having something a bit too hot next to it. So I had to fill that and sand back, which I'm still working on to get it nice and smooth. But she's looking like a mozzie to me. This one I'm building for Flory's IF100 SIG on the Flory Models website. I'm hopeful to get it done by the end of the SIG, which is on the 31st of December. So we'll see. We'll give it a shot. We've got the props are painted up, and I've started some detail painting here on the I think these are oil tanks sort of for the landing gear. So that's that. So yeah, we're getting over that one. Pop that one back. When we're going to pop it? Pop it up here for a minute. Right. So that's pretty much all I have got recently in terms of the builds. Whilst I'm down here, I'm just going to zip through some of my purchases, and the bits I'm going to cover here are aftermarket. So let's just get this in relative order and tools. So aftermarket wise, before going to Telford I did purchase a few bits of aftermarket, and these are some photo etch details for the Hobby Boss F14s, so for the F14A and F14D for the cockpits, and I've got a B. I'll use the F14A's cockpit on the B, it should work fine, and I've got a D in the stash, so that's for that. Also got this, which is from Wolfpack. I think this came can't remember where I got this from. This is an ALQ-167. It's an ECM pod, one of the older generation ECM pods, and now I think they're mainly used on aggressors. But the F-14A used to carry it. Some nice pictures of the F-14A with it underneath. So I bought that because I want to put it on the Fujimi kit that I've got to build. So that is that. Little bit of aftermarket that I got at Telford. I was up in the Edward stand, and I got just to start with. These are the relatively newly released BL755 cluster bombs in 7-second scale, and that's going to be for one of my Harrier builds. Whilst I was there, I also got a bit of photo etch. So this is the Zoom photo etch sets for the Eurofighter, for the Hasegawa kit that I've got in stash, and also an F-18C which I've got in the stash as well, just to get a bit more detailed. Also, whilst I was up at Telford, I got these. These are Master, and these are pitot tubes for an F-14 and for a Tornado. So the idea is with the F-14s, I'm probably going to do one of them a bit more tricked out and put that on. Let me just pop these back. Whilst I was at Telford, I was desperately looking to pick up a new tool, and I couldn't find a decent bargain anywhere, so I ended up buying these off eBay once I got back. But one of the things I wanted from Telford was I wanted a new pair of side cutters. So in the end, I got these off eBay for a relatively decent price. I have had a little play with them, and they're a lot better than what I've got in a minute, so I'm really chuffed with that. Also the other day off Hannon's, I picked these up for a relatively cheap price, and these are some paint masks. This one here is for the 7-second scale Mosquito, which I'm building at the moment. And this one I got because the last one I had in stock, which is for the Lancaster, the Dam Buster, which I got in stash, so I thought I'd grab that. So that's it for aftermarket. I have got some kits to show you, but I'm going to move the camera back round face to face and walk you and talk you through the kits that I've bought. So yeah, that's the aftermarket bits and bobs that I purchased kit wise. So before going to Telford, I was having a bit of snoop around on eBay, as you do, and I came across this. This is a 7-second scale Tamiya Bell X1 Mac Buster. Now, this isn't an original Tamiya kit from what I know. This is a V-Box, but I picked this up for about 6 or 7 quid. And it's a lovely little kit. It's got some really nice details on it. It's got a transparent fuselage, you can detail all the interior of it, and it's got some really nice markings, and obviously it's got Chuck Yeager's Glamorous Glennis mark in here, which is the one on the front. So the first time it went for the Mac barrier, the sound barrier. So that's why I wanted to get that. It's just a bit of a how do you call it, an impulse buy, but it's a kit that I think the aircraft's so iconic, I thought it'd be great to have. Just let me have a quick slurp of beer. For any of you wondering, this is Ubu from Purity Brewing Company. It's Warwickshire beer, really nice. They also do Mad Goose, which is more of a goldeny one, which is really, really nice as well. Anyway, Telford wise, first kit I bought at Telford was this. So this is A&A Models, who I think is Micromere, but under a different name. And this is a relatively newly released Mirage 4A. Now, I've got the old Heller kit in the stash, and I love the Mirage 4. It's kind of that iconic Cold War aircraft, sleek, fast. This thing was way ahead of its time in terms of performance, and only used by the French either. So it's quite a sort of a, in my mind, anyway, it's quite not an iconic, but it's one of those aircraft which is quite. You think French nuclear bombers, Mirage 4, is in service for God knows how many years. It then went into becoming the Mirage 4P, and then went more into a reconnaissance role later on in life. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, I'm going to have it. I'll do a kit review on this one, I think. It is pretty full of plastic. I think you get a bit of photo etch in here. So yeah, that's a nice looking kit. It's got some nice markings on it as well. So that was on the first bit of Telford, and that was the only kit I had the intention of buying. And then day 2 I went up there with the wife and Harriet, had a fantastic day. I was having a bit of snoop around in some of the second-hand stores, and on about kits, and Laura's like, oh, you don't need any kits. I'm like, yeah, I don't, but I'd like some kits. And like, anyway, so I ended up in this corner store, can't remember who it was who was selling, and he's like, you know, make me an offer, yada yada yada. And I saw these 2 kits. So the first one I saw was this Hasegawa FA18 Super Hornet low visibility markings. As you can see by the box, it's quite battered and bruised. Definitely seen better days. And the other one I saw was this Hobby Boss 172 scale A7A Corsair. Same story, battered box. And I can't remember what the prices were on these, but I said to chap, oh, do you mind if I have a quick look inside them? So I had a quick look, and inside everything looked pretty nice. There you go. Even the decals look sort of half decent. So the same story for the Hobby Boss. It is in a good nick. So I said to the chap, I said, well, will you do the 2 of them for, I think I said 18 or 20 quid? He was like, oh, I can't do that. I said, well, let me have a reach in my pocket, and I think I pulled out a few extra pounds. I think I got both of these kits for about £24, so £12 a kit. These go for way above that if you buy them second hand on eBay, and if you buy a brand new one, it's about 30 odd quid. And these are about an 18 quid kit, if not a bit more. So I was quite chuffed with that little bargain. I love the F18. I've got an F18A, a C, an F already in the stash. Now the E, so I'm missing like a B and a D. And I think ideally I'd like to have one of each if I could eventually. It's one of those aircraft. It's a versatile aircraft. It's been developed so well from the F18A into the Super Hornet now. And obviously it's the US Navy primary fighter today. The A7A is a relatively cool looking Cold War aircraft, sort of very much Vietnam, loaded for bear with loads of Mark 82s on TERS and MERS. So yeah, and in high visibility markings as well. So nice little aircraft as well. So I'm pretty chuffed with those purchases, and with that's going to be it. Famous last words, but I actually don't need any more kits. I've got more than enough kits to keep me busy for a long time, and I don't really see myself buying anything apart from one kit in the future, and we'll get onto that in a bit. So that's it for purchases. Moving on to Telford. Telford debrief. Well, everybody's seen the videos going around after Telford and photos of a fantastic show it was, and some really good work on display there. The competition area was really good to see. The quality of the work, fantastic. I've got some footage and I've got some still photos which I'll knock into a video at some point. Obviously it's late, but I'll still knock a video out for it. Even the quality of the displays on the club stands. So it was a fantastic weekend. I went up on a Saturday on my own, and then on Sunday I went up with Harrier and my wife, and had some nice meetups. I met with Michael Booth from Mod Art 633, Ian Poulton from UK Scale Modeller, Gary Bottoms, from Making Models Again. I'd love him to come back into the YouTube world because he's probably one of my favourite YouTubers to watch. Had a lovely chat with all those guys. Flory, when I had a lovely chat with Phil. they had a great stand. Matt from PM Models, which is where we got the Mirage 4 from, he twisted my arm. So it's nice chats there. The rest of the Flory team, Andy, etc. And they had a busy weekend. And then I had a really nice meet up with my good buddy Luke Carswell from Black Rifle Model Works. He was at there with the ISM guys. Quickly popped by there and said hello to Graham Pearson and to Paul Bretland. And had a good meet up with Luke and had a good walk around, a good chat, and put the world to right. So it was a fantastic weekend. Could have spent a lot more money than I did. The highlight from the show though for me in terms of kit releases, or kit announcements, a lot of people talking about the 1:24 scale Hellcat, is it Hellcat or Wildcat? Hellcat that Airfix have released, which does look like a stunning kit, and I think the scale suits that kind of aircraft. They're relatively small World War II fighters, so your P-51s, your Spitfires, your Hurricanes, your Hellcats, your Corsairs, stuff like that. So yeah, that's an impressive kit. But the one which really took my heart is the 1/32 scale Wingnut Wings Lancaster. Now, Wingnut Wings, as you came into the hall there, just on the right as you came in, and on the first day you couldn't get near it. Later on in the first day I got to have a good look, and on Sunday I had a really good look, and oh my god, does this aircraft look absolutely stunning. It's not going to be a cheap kit. The chap there was saying it's going to be their most expensive kit. Now I think their dual combo, the Felix Stowe and I can't remember the other aircraft. I'm not very good at World War One kits and aircraft, but that retails for just over £300. So we know it's going to be at least £300, maybe 350, maybe even 400. But when you compare it with the 1/32 scale Hong Kong Models kit, which is 350, so I think it's 350. I think the Wingnut Wings kit is far superior. In my opinion, it looks like a much nicer kit. Yeah, you haven't got the transparent fuselage on it, on transparent nose that you're going to get in the HK Models kit, but the stressed skin effect on it is gorgeous, and I mean the details are absolutely stunning. So that's probably going to be the only kit now that I really want to buy. I really want one, for multiple reasons. My great uncle served on them, my granddad built them, it's just, I don't know, I think it's one of the aircraft that started off my love of aviation after watching Dam Busters when I was probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years of age, and also going to an air show with my granddad and hearing these 4 Merlin engines fly over. It's just, oh god. So yeah, so that's going to be a kit that I'm going to be saving up some pocket money for. Few overtime shifts, and try and put some money in the savings account, and yeah, I'll be having one for sure. And then it's going to go in the stash, and it won't get touched for many moons. But my reasoning is I'd much rather spend 350 quid now than spend 550 in 18 years time to get the kit. So that's Telford. As I say, it's a fantastic weekend, great meet up. I love Telford, and I'm looking forward to next year's. If I'm off work, I'll definitely be going. If I'm at work, I'll try and get the time off to go. So what next on the channel? Well, I'm going to try and wrap up that Mosquito for the end of the year. I reckon that's doable. I've got a bit of time off now over the Christmas period. I'm back on work on the 29th, so we've got about a week off, just over a week off. And we haven't got any major big plans. We're doing a family Christmas this year with the in-laws. My parents staying in France. So yeah, so we're doing Christmas Day, Boxing Day there, Christmas Eve church, and yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to squeeze some time in at the bench. So the idea is to try and wrap up that Mosquito, wrap up the that Valiant as well, and take it from there. So yeah, I was saying, sorry, a little bit of camera glitch. I was saying, so yeah, wrap up the Valiant, wrap up the Mosquito, box up the Tucano and the Augusta 109, and then I'm going to crack on with the Tiger Models aircraft. So that's going to be the BF 109 and the Spitfire and the main kit Lancaster. and get those done. And then once that's done, I'm going to be packing the man cave away. So that'll be a video. I'll come around to packing all of this stuff away and popping it in the loft, and how I'm going to keep my stuff sort of safe whilst it goes in storage. And then it's going to be decorating this place into Harriet's bedroom. So yeah, so that's what's next on the channel. Well, what's next on my bench? Just those 3 kits, which hopefully will be relatively quick builds. They don't need to be weathered; they can just be fun builds. And then, as I say, close the shop down, if that makes sense, temporarily anyway. So with that, I think all we've got left to do is talk about Christmas now, and basically wish everybody a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you'll get plenty of family time together over the festive period. You know, it's one of those, working in my job, working in emergency services, quite often we're away from home at Christmas, and it's always hard to be away from your loved ones at that time of the year. So if you are with your loved ones, make the most of it and have a great time. If you're working, like a lot of my friends will be, well, hats off to you guys. Thank you for keeping us safe over the Christmas period. I hope your shifts aren't too bad, and I hope you do get a bit of time with your family and your loved ones. Going into New Year, I'm back at work on the 29th, so I'm doing a whole stint, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st and the 2nd. So it's going to be fun and games for us at work in the ambulance service over the New Year period. Gets a bit busy, but hey ho, such is the game. And then it's going to be into New Year, so hopefully everybody will have a great time celebrating New Year's Eve, and have a good bit of fun, party, have a few drinks, not to any excess, and then roll on into 2019. And I hope that everybody's going to have a great and prosperous 2019, and that you get plenty of time at the bench to do what you want to do. And with that, I think that's about it for me. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I think the video's gone on for a bit longer than I hoped. It always does. I'm just going to say a massive thank you once again to all those who subscribe to support the channel. All your comments are appreciated, your feedback's appreciated. I apologise for lack of content, but I did say that that's going to happen. And this is going to be my last video for 2018. So on that, bye bye guys, have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Take care, bye bye.